Welcome back, everyone, to the Sunday Spotlight. And tonight we're having a little deja vu. And I don't mean the Mac Adventure point-and-click game, although that would be thematically fitting. No, we're taking a look at Shadows of Doubt. Again. Now, I tried this on stream a couple weeks ago, and ran into some roadblocks that are partly on me. There is absolutely still jank, we'll get to that, but I feel more confident in my sleuthing abilities, so we'll take another stab at this. But for those just tuning in, Shadows of Doubt is a first-person procedurally generated sandbox detective sim from developer Cold Powered Games. Yeah, probably using a true full screen rather than windowed full screen. Yeah, that makes sense. But anyway, despite being in early access, I had several people recommend this to me. It is very promising so far. It generates a few city blocks of varying geographical size, fully featured, fully explorable, and then populates it with an amazing density of characters. Become Forensics Goblin. Exactly, that's Mirage gets to the heart of it. Yeah, so some of the characters in there will be killing others naturally, and it's our job to find out who. We've played other detective-themed games before, but I can't think of anything doing what this game does at scale. We have potentially hundreds of NPCs roaming the city, each with a residence, most with a job, a schedule along a day-night cycle, and a host of information to collect about them, right down to fingerprints, blood type, handwriting samples. When a crime is committed, you need to find out who committed it, how it was done, and directly tie them to the scene of the crime. Yeah, procedurally generated crime. It is genuinely novel. I've not seen anything quite like this working with this much space and this many characters in it. But yeah, we explore the city, look up addresses, find clues, attach them to cases, search crime scenes, etc., etc. It's a detail-rich environment, and it requires the player to sort through these details, and it's just incredibly cool what they're doing here. Anyway, from what I read, they're shooting for a full launch sometime next year, so they're pretty far along, and they seem pretty confident in what they're making. We'll be going through the tutorial, which has several predetermined elements, but even within that, there are some interesting little variations. The main gameplay mode is its sandbox mode, which can use either this fixed city, which is Charlotte Heights, or something randomly generated. And what makes this generation impressive is just how much it's making, from the building interiors to character details to how crimes occur and evidence is generated. There are a lot of fiddly bits that still need polishing, but it's an ambitious game, and the tutorial covers only a small slice of what your options are. Let's get moving with our protagonist, Max Johnson, the hardest of hard-boiled detectives, and I'll show you how all this works. So yeah, a lot to generate whenever it's coughing up a new city. You'll see when we get rolling, but it is genuinely impressive the scale they're working at. So yeah, we're dealing with kind of an alternate history here. Apparently this is set on our world, but it's actually a pretty extensive deviation from history as we know it. More on that in a bit. But yeah, this will give us a short introduction. Yeah, that's fine. It is the late 20th century. Hyper-industrialization has swept the planet. The old Bourbon Empire has crumbled, giving way to the United Atlantic States and the first elected mega-corporation president in history, Starch Cola. You know they're cool because they spell cola with a K. As sea levels rise, cities become polluted islands. Workers dream of escaping to the fields, an exclusive retirement district few will ever see. Yeah, you know they're cool because of the murder cult. Exactly. But God, just look at this atmosphere. Rival corporations vie for power, policed by the privatized Starch Cola enforcers. So we're getting bits of cyberpunk in with our noir. So it's definitely, it fits into that genre I've called cyber noir before, where it's taking some high-tech elements, but also pulling kind of a retro-futuristic atmosphere here. So some say justice now only exists in the shadows, which is where we come in. In a game where you can get surgery to become goblin-sized. Oh yeah, it fucking goes as you get deeper in. Anyway, I woke with a pounding headache, still tasting the alcohol and bad decisions. I was utterly confused for a moment, having forgotten who I was, where I was, even the basics like navigation and how to turn on the lights. Ah, there we go. Luckily, the hallucinations hadn't gone away, nudging little reminders of what to do. Regret dogged every step as I got out of bed, my brain telling me to enjoy the peace while I still could. Haven't enjoyed anything that didn't come out of a bottle, dreams included. That reminds me, I gotta tell the doc. I'm out of pills again. Also, I should pick up fabric softener while I'm out. Western District Special Police Service Commendation awarded to Max Johnson for outstanding investigative duties, fine clearance rate. So, yeah, basically, we are the stereotypical down-on-his-luck detective, former police officer, and we have seen better days. The notice on my table was like a bullet to the head, the second cruelest thing I've ever woken up next to. The first was my phone, after failing to guess the wordle of the day. That snake Jimmy Maddock got it and won. That's when I knew the fix was in. Who else in this city would have known it was going to be muddy? Nobody guesses double letters from the start. Anyway, let's get these lights on. So you can see here we're hitting that classic immersive sim feel where there's just a ton of things you can interact with. And a great deal of complexity with how you can manipulate the environment, from searching drawers, to answering telephones, to reading notes on the wall. This tells us that our passcode to the safe was set to 1234. Same passcode as my luggage. Yeah. Hello? Who is this? Must have been a wrong number. Yeah, if we punch that code into our safe here... Get us a code breaker, and this document here. Genome Decay and Health Risks and Hybrid Synchronization Packages by Professor Sam Umeki. Applications for genetic sequencing have come a long way from the first tentative genome assembly attempts of Ackerman and Diouf back in the early 1970s. With the rise in popularity of privatized and unregulated gene therapy and DNA alteration programs, such as Elliott genetic sequence rejuvenation techniques, have come new challenges. 7 days. Hey, Kren, good to see you. But yeah, this is basically establishing that while superficially we are dealing with 1940s noir aesthetics, we are also dealing with some degrees of high technology. Like, our computers are solidly in the 1970s, which is indeed when this game is taking place, but we also have some gene manipulation and something approaching Deus Ex-style augmentations. But anyway, there's a note under our front door. Sadly, our adventures do not begin with a hot redhead in a cocktail dress and a world of trouble walking in. Instead, we get a note introducing us to the case board. This is just instructing us how to pin things to it. This is a novel element of gameplay. We will be attaching elements and evidence to a specific case as we discover them. A lot of it will connect automatically, but it'll also be on the player to sort of logically deduce what's connected. So our first case here, find Oni Johnson. So we're going to pin that to our case board. I'll put that off to the side for now. Now, we know nothing about this character, but as you can see, there is a wealth of information to know. So the first logical step is to check the city directory. Conveniently, we have one. Alright, Johnson is under J. So yeah, the big thing about this city is it generates hundreds of characters, so unless you know specific details about a character, it can be very difficult to find them out, and this is what makes the investigative aspect so compelling. We are literally looking for a needle in a haystack, so we need to narrow down our suspects. Anyway, we've got their address, 802 Rose Building, so we're going to go ahead and plot a route there, and that'll give us a nice, tidy little... Actually, we'll go ahead and pin that as well. That'll give us a nice, tidy little navigation marker down there. Right. So for no other reason than we literally have nothing else going on in our lives, we got to get back into it. First, we're going to want some lockpicks. Now, you are encouraged to kind of scrounge up any loose items you can. Your inventory is very limited to start with. We'll get to that in a second, but any keys, any bobby pins, any paper clips, those automatically become lockpicks, so you're encouraged to pick them up whenever you can. Yeah, this also teaches you about the documents in the wardrobe of most places. Exactly, yeah. That's the thing. In keeping with the amount of information that is generated about people, they also generates the information defined about these people. Like you see here, so every character in the game is going to have documents like that. That's their tenancy agreement. They'll often have like bank statements indicating what they've been spending their money on. Birth certificate if we want more information about them. Not too useful for us, but this is the kind of information we'll be going through when we start investigating other people. But anyway, let's get this box open.
Yay!
Hey, thanks, I appreciate that. Alright. Alright, so this gives us some starter equipment. Hey, Lewis, welcome to the chat. Good to see you. Appreciate the follow. So yeah, we get some basic stuff to start with, which is... we get some coins. These are actually... this is not money. Our actual credits are up here. These are used to toss for a distraction. So we've got our fists, so we can defend ourselves. There is melee combat in this game. No guns, or at least no guns you use as a projectile. But you can pick up various things to defend yourself with. It's always kind of a last resort. The watch tells time, obviously. We'll be using that here and there more to keep track of people's schedules. And this, a very important tool, the print scanner. We'll be using this when we start investigating crime scenes. But anyway, your starting inventory is very small. As you can see, we grabbed a set of handcuffs and a code breaker, and we've only got 2 empty slots to work with. So you need to be careful about what you pick up, so you've got room to actually work with crime scene stuff. But anyway, so yeah, 802 Rose Building. We've got our course plotted in. Let's get moving. Oh, right. I gotta open it. I did pick up the key earlier, which is over here. Actually, what's this? Former Police Officers Welfare Association. We're here for you. Free basic housing for those in need. I'm sure this definitely will come up later. Alright. Actually, while we're here, before we leave, I doubt this is important, but, you know, this is the kind of game where the amount of stuff you can interact with makes the environment feel more real. So it kind of feels right to lock everything up and turn up the lights before we leave. I don't know if it's a thing that people will, like, surprise you at home or something. Maybe that's something that would happen later in the full release. We shall find out. Actually, we'll go ahead and take the elevator down. So as you saw with the opening, we're working with a kind of alternate history. As I said, we are on Earth, but I had to look this up. To make a surprisingly long story short, the Industrial Revolution happened about a century earlier. Like, France and Britain became a single empire, the American Revolution failed without French help. The actual year right now is 1979. I mean, it's clearly going for a 30s or 40s noir aesthetic, but we've got some staggered technological developments and even some light cyberpunk elements. There are cameras everywhere, a massive government database, physical augmentation. There's a lot more going on with the setting than you'd expect. It is not... I tried this actually a couple weeks ago. I didn't quite... I fumbled a bit at the first crime scene. I know a little bit more of what I'm doing now. I managed to play ahead of the first crime, and now I'm just kind of showing off the tutorial to get a basic sense of the gameplay. So yeah, I've tried it before, but haven't gotten very far, but I really, really like what it's doing. But anyway, we are going to 802 Rose Building, which is the address for Oni Janssen. And just an example of the density this game is working at. This is... so 802, that means there are at least 8 floors in this building. Every single floor, every single room is explorable. A character lives there, they go there after work, their personal information is there. I've genuinely not seen anything work at the scale this game is working at. It is very, very impressive. Alright, so we're looking for 802, which is going to be right over here. To know if a door is locked or not, you'll first have to try and open it. Yep, it's locked. So So we can focus on the door handle. If we have the correct key for the door, you'll see an interaction. We do not. This also teaches us that sometimes keys are hidden under the doormat. So it doesn't hurt to take a look. It's rare. In this case, they've fixed it, so it'll always be there. But something you want to check, because you never know, you might get lucky. Other times, you're going to have to keep a watch out and make sure nobody sees you picking the lock or find another way in. Alright, we're officially trespassing. As mentioned, we are a private investigator, not any recognized member of law enforcement, so we're not really allowed to be here. So we need to kind of be discreet as we look around. Now, you remember from my stream a couple weeks ago, the TV was on, so even within this structured tutorial quest, there are certain elements that do change from one playthrough to the next. So we need to look around. Alright. Johnson work rotation. So he's an office manager. He works from 9 to 1700s. So that's 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Oh! Oh, damn. Someone folded this poor bastard in half. Alright. Okay, so we do have an air vent if we need to get out of here in a hurry. Alright, let's take a look at this guy. Alright, so in searching them, we found an entry wound, likely cause of death, a bullet wound from low-caliber ammunition, 8mm, 9x32. From examining the body, it appears the victim has been shot to death with a pistol or revolver. You can determine the time of death is between, looks like quarter after midnight and 1:30 in the morning, Tuesday, January 3rd, 1979. So that's today. This person was killed less than maybe sometime between 2 hours and an hour ago. So we'll go ahead and manually tie those two together. Now, this character didn't have any information on them, unfortunately. Let's take their prints. Alright, so we've got their fingerprints. Now time to look around. See if we can get more information. Alright, Odie Janssen work ID. Looks like they work for Goldborn Technologies. So we've got an idea of what they look like. And let's see, each citizen in the city has a unique fingerprint. You can scan for them using the fingerprint scanner device. That's us. That's, So yeah, this is teaching us to search the crime scene for fingerprints. Okay, it's a little hard to tell because the body has been folded in half, but that is indeed the person we were looking for. So we're going to want to look around. As you can see, everything, the level of granularity this game is working at, every object is going to have a set of fingerprints on it, and if we hold the scanner over it, we can confirm, okay, he handled this thing. So obviously most of the prints in here are going to be his. So we want to sweep the area carefully and see if there's any that stand out. And so there's a shotgun on the ground right here. His fingerprints are on it. Based on the entry wound, almost certainly that is not the murder weapon. So a red herring, but we'll put it to there just because it's something we found here, and it might be a point of interest later. Because it doesn't look like it's been fired. I don't see any stray ammunition lying around or something, so most likely the victim was ready for an attack but was taken by surprise. Okay, the New Leave Association for the Legally Challenged. We are a friendly, non-judgmental group, welcoming all those who wish to become productive members of society. Our advisors can help you return to work and begin making social restitution payments with our fabulous New Leaf, New Me 6-step program. Alright. Matchbook. So a common resource is going to be phone calls that were made recently. So let's take a look at his address book. So Lorcan, Sahana, Irie, Elizabeth, Violet, Leek. Everybody's going to be in touch with somebody. We don't know if anybody here is connected to the case, but these are points of reference if we find more information. Hey, Ivory, good to see you. Alright. So yeah, this is teaching us that we can check for recent calls by dialing 541-0000. It's also possible to get phone records from the building itself down in the basement. That I haven't done yet. But let's punch this in. 541-0000. Last caller was 515-3449. And looks like that was 11:24 last night, so potentially about an hour or so before the killing. So let's see if that matches up with anybody in the book. Yep. Alright. So 541-3499. Lorcan, Sahana, Irie. Aha! Violet, 1202 Stubbs Drive. So he called this Violet about an hour or so before the killing. That may be a point of interest. So we're going to pin that to the board. And it should have automatically updated her address. There we go. So we want to look around to see if the... Actually, not going to be a bad idea to check the door, check the outside of the door. Depends on whether the killer was let in or forced their way in. Aha! Here we go. Fingerprint, type B. So we've got someone that does not match the killer here. Or does not match the victim here. Possibly the killer. Depends on who else this character had recently. Eventually, I believe fingerprints will fade. But we've got our first evidence that someone else was here. Yeah, exactly. These prints don't belong to Oni and no one else lives here. Let's look around. Ooh. Is that blood? I didn't notice that last time. Actually going to make a slight adjustment in my notes over here. There we go. Alright, we got some videotapes. I don't think those are useful anything. Sometimes it's useful to search the trash. Nope. It is tutorialized. Alright, discarded packet of deep-fried potato batons. Dirty napkin. There we go. Okay, receipt, keep for tax records, Indigo Hair Kitchen. So, 22:45, so a few hours, so about 2 hours so before the murder. This is where he was last night. Oop. So, yeah. Dot in the very middle of the screen displays how hidden you are. So this is talking a little bit about stealth and combat. It is disencouraged to get into combat unless you have thoroughly assessed the situation and you know exactly how many people you're up against. This is not Deus Ex. You are sturdy enough to go toe-to-toe with most people, especially after you get some, modifications in you, but you are still a fragile, squishy human, and you only have so many options at your disposal, so you want to be careful. And stealth in this game is... I can't decide if it's finicky or something reasonably close to realistic, because it's actually kind of hard to perfectly evade people unless you just flat stay out of sight. You have some idea of when you're hidden in shadow, but it's not something you want to count on. You generally want to avoid line of sight and be as quiet as you can, and any action you take... Yeah, a nightstick makes combat so much easier. That's something I wish I knew earlier, that you can just buy a nightstick, but more on that later. But anyway, yeah, basically avoid combat until you've got your hands on a weapon, or you're very confident in your ability to duck and weave. But anyway, so, yeah, Indigo Hair Kitchen. So our victim was there last night. Knockout grenade pitched around a corner. Hey, can't argue. Oh, shit. Silent alarm has been tripped. Enforcers are coming in. Alright, so again, cops are coming in. I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Take this file to a local sync clinic. Now would be a good time to hide. Again, We are not law enforcement. We are not authorized to be here. So we need to be very careful about interacting with the police. Mostly they're just there to keep some semblance of order, but they will beat the shit out of you if you're somewhere you don't belong. You can just slip out the vent that we found, and we'll show a bit more about how that works later. But that has its own hazards, because, again, unlike, say, Deus Ex, the vents are a rather realistic maze-like set of passages that A, aren't really designed for human passage, and B, don't necessarily lead you where you want to go. Like, you might wind up in someone else's apartment and to have to break out of there instead. Alright. So they broke in. I do like the detail that you see their outlines, but only when they're making noise. And you get the sense that that's what other characters are seeing whenever you make noise. They get a sense of where you were, but don't magically know where you are. So we'll want to be real careful as they sweep the scene. Fortunately, cops in this world aren't too interested in playing detective. In fact, from what I read, it sounds like most detective work is basically just kind of outsourced to, like, private investigators. They don't really worry about solving crimes so much as just taping off crime scenes and taking care of the bodies. So it's mostly on us to actually find who's responsible for them. Like, they do pay you for solving crimes, and with any luck we'll get to that, but yeah. This is going pretty hard into dystopia, and ooh, I think that's money on the ground. As soon as the cops leave, I will get that. Okay. That's one cop leaving. I think we're clear to move. Yep, there's the other one going off. But yeah, it actually does a... Okay, that's nothing. It gives a pretty good sense of tension, because stealth can go wrong quickly in a hurry. Oh, hey. Don't forget who owns you. So this I missed last time. Right, realistic air vents wouldn't be big enough for people to go through except in very large buildings, yeah. Alright, remember your passcode this time, 1428. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll pin that there, why not? Yeah, they are not designed for human passage. Ah, so Mr. Janssen wore spectacles. Interesting. Not terribly relevant. Okay. Okay, Oni Janssen from Unknown. Dear Mr. Janssen, thank you for recently contacting us to request a life insurance policy. Unfortunately, our checks indicate that you do not meet the required social or economic requirements to be approved for one of our policies. Why not check out our range of alternatives for ex-offenders and those less fortunate, such as our salary requisition scheme? Wishing you luck, Customer Service Representative number 47, Spartan Insurance. Protection against the odds. So, yeah. Gives you the sense of the dystopia we're working with here. So, Mr. Janssen had kind of fallen on hard times. Possibly someone who had just gotten out of... Oh, shit! Alright. Cops are coming in. Max, get under the bed. Okay. I think he's moving off. Ah, damn. I'd like to take that code breaker. I think I can, actually. Yes. What's this? Okay. Keep for tax records. Jade King Lounge. Gemsteader 5. So that was a few weeks ago. Not paid. Added to tab. Call me. Alright. Alright, Oni Janssen. Type B. Alright. So, our killer, whoever they were, got into the safe, or tried to get into the safe, but they weren't necessarily interested in all the contents. They left that, the sync disk there, which is a pretty valuable piece of equipment. So either they weren't able to get in or they were after something else. But in any case, we've gotten all we can from here. Let's try and sneak out. Oh, shit. Okay, cops are right there. Now, fortunately, if we're very careful... Howdy, officer. Perfectly law-abiding citizen. Totally didn't come from a murder scene or anything. And out we go. Alright. So, we have our case, we have our victim, we need to find our suspect out there. Somewhere in this giant city. In fact, let's see. Let me see if I can get a map up here. So this is roughly the scale we're working at. It's not actually... In terms of, like, real space, it's not that large. We're talking maybe, like, 3 or 4 city blocks in each direction. But in terms of density, it's massive. Like, we're looking at buildings that can have anywhere from 10 to 20 floors. Each of those is going to have people and offices on them, residences, and there's going to be systems you can interact with. Each of these buildings is going to have a basement. There's just an incredible scale and density of information that is generated pretty much procedurally. Like, the Charlotte Heights obviously is pre-generated for the tutorial, but I've genuinely not seen a game working with the density of information this game is working with. And having everything work this well with this level of detail, this kind of atmosphere, this is novel. And I can see why so many people recommended this game to me. This is absolutely a fascinating game, and I'm eager to see where they go with it in the full release. But anyway, so here's where we turn in information on the case once we have information. So now that we've collected a form, at any time we can resolve the case by presenting information about the killer. The full name, we can arrest them if we found them, that's completely optional. Do we have evidence that places them at the crime scene? Where do they live? Have we located the murder weapon? So, the more we get, the more money the more information we get, the more money we get. And obviously we get penalized for wrong guesses, so this isn't really something you could brute force. But now this is telling us that the... Take that hairpin. I'll take that lockpick. Thank you. This is telling us that there were several possible places where we could visit. Why is this pointing to the... okay. There's definitely still some jank in the interface, it must be said. So, last time we went to the diner. Let's go to the office this time. So, we're going to head to Goldborn Technologies, which is where the victim used to work. Alright, here we go, Goldborn Technologies, office, they're in the Stubbs Deluxe building. Realistic air vents is why you need well-trained cat companions. Exactly! Or like some kind of robotic spider companion or something you can send in there. That was a fun little sequence in Black Ops 2. But anyway, conveniently, Stubbs Deluxe is right here. And that's kind of where you start running into some issues with the scale of it, because you'll very often come into situations where, okay, this character lives here, this character works here, also the murder was committed here. There are only so many iterations they can generate that separate characters and the crimes they commit out realistically. But then again, it's also kind of true that a lot of murders are committed by people that know the victim, so I can't fault that too much. Anyway, where was the exact address of that? Did we get that? Looks like that is on the 5th floor. I thought there was a way to look up the specific address of businesses. There should be. I'm probably just overlooking it. Again, some of this I'm willing to pin on getting used to the depth that the UI has to operate on to handle all this information, but there is definitely still some jank in the game. Like you can see here, this door just clips through that mailbox right there. There are things about it that definitely still could require a layer of polish. But for the most part, it's impressive how much they have working, and working well. given what the point of the game is. Anyway. Goldborn Technologies. Let's see what we can find out about our victim. Okay, so here's what I was talking about with automated securities. You've got a camera right there, and that laser means business. That's usually applied to a gun turret. So if we want to get in, we're going to need to be careful about this. Which is where Mr. Vent comes in. We're definitely going to want to save here. Alright. So yeah, vents are easy to get into. Deceptively so, in fact. All you gotta do is get a grab on it and you're in. And you can actually climb up vents even if it looks like there's nothing to climb. But it's a bit tricky to get around in. You do want to consult your map, so we are... You can just see us. We're at the very edge of the map on the left side. That little pink dot that's moving back and forth. So... this should get us in, actually, right down here. We'll want to be careful. Alright. Okay, I know Oni worked here. Worth seeing if I can find their desk to check for clues. So, yeah, as an example of jank there, we're getting an objective for the Indigo Hair Kitchen, which is where the victim last visited before they died, but we're nowhere near there. Anyway, we gotta find Oni Janssen's desk and access their computer. Also gotta take this cash, why not? Employee record for Oni Janssen. Alright, what's this? Secret envelope. Toxicology report on Project YC-12. YC-12 was packaged and sold under the name Paxidol. Several months ago, company officials were informed that new additives to the product were causing severe side effects. This report details the toxicological findings. YC-12 has the potential to introduce moderate to severe side effects in consumers. These include, but are not limited to, headaches, nausea, cirrhosis, mild psychosis, insomnia. There is also some evidence to suggest that these side effects are more severe in individuals who have gone resequencing. The Quality Control Department advised the use of a warning label on the product to avoid legal implications. Yeah, just slap a warning on whatever you're making. That's all you need. Quality control is for suckers. Alright. Here we go, employee records. Alright. So, Irie Fukada, Kanasia Veal, Kiara Simmons, Elizabeth Hyver, Sagna Malek, Oni Janssen. Here we go. Alright. So now we got all the information we need about him. Record notes. Has been displaying signs of a short temper. Several warnings have been issued about this already. Several reports of them flirting with other employees. Always conversing about sports. How dare they? Smoker. Cyberpunk edge runners leaning, leering from behind the nearest door frame. Alright. So, let's see if we can find his desk. Now, this is also covered. And if we search, maybe we can find a coworker. They said they were... The document said he was flirting. Let's see if we can find who he was flirting with. Now, there's a breaker box there. And if we do that, we can shut down security. We gotta time this pretty carefully. Alright, easy does it. Alright, got it open. Good. Alright. Security system breaker off. Beautiful. Alright. Cameras are down. Now we have a freer hand to search the desk. Oni Janssen. Hey, perfect. Alright, let's take a look. Okay. Perfume. A lighter. Starch candy. Advertisement. Tired of nothing but V-mail in the bills? Dove. Sign up to Dove today and find that special someone. The only service to offer intercorp dating. There are thousands of Dove users just waiting for your letter. Why not take your first... Yeah, I get the idea. Dude was lonely, I understand. Okay, what's this? Oh, remember your passcode this time. 1428. Alright. Well, this is a very secure cyberpunk future. And so a lot of people use the same passcode for everything, and it's just a 4-digit code. So let's check out his computer here. I think they'll automatically punch it in for you. Yeah, if you click Oni Janssen, maybe not. There we go. Alright. Profile. Yeah, we've got that. I do appreciate the dated look on this. Okay. Please look ASAP. Oni, you're scaring me. I'll be there. Please don't do anything until we can talk. Kiara. Alright, so he was in contact with Kiara Simmons, who I think was another worker here. Oni, please, listen to me. Get out of the house now. Violet is coming for you. If anyone comes saying they know me, don't open the door. Go somewhere safe. Don't come here. I'm sorry. Kiara, I have to see you. You're the only one who understands. You'll help me get my head straight. Can't say more here. Meet me at Indigo Hair Kitchen at 10:45 p.m. I'll explain. Make sure you aren't being followed. I hope you're well out of it, but just in case. Life insurance policy. So that's a document we've read before. So a lot of email you read is going to be stuff like this. It's going to be scam emails. It's going to be people signing up for this Dove service. And a lot of junk email and such. Well, here, what's this? Violet Diaz. Okay. We need weapons. Cotton DIY Company. Not going to give the password Mulberry. Don't be late. VD. Alright. This seems information. I'm going to print this out. So this is something I haven't actually seen since, like, the Nameless mod, where you can print out emails and do that to add it to your data vault. So that's an interesting little connection that we'll want to keep in mind. Anyway, let us shut down, log off. We'll want to be a ghost here. Leave as little of a footprint as possible. Right after I rifle through other people's drawers. Ho ho! Hosanna! Oh, a sync upgrade vial. What's this? Paper stack. Actually, shit! I'm full of... my inventory's full. Damn it. Okay. Now, we can't actually use that because we don't have any augmentations to upgrade, but we will get to that eventually. But at least we know where it is. Fortunately, one of the upgrades is more inventory space. Okay, oop. Security's back on. Time to get out of here. Ah, shit! Shit! Okay, can we climb on the chair? No, shit. Can we climb on the box? Yes, here we go. Fuck yeah. Get that ImSim brain working. Deus Ex clearing from behind the nearest door frame just under C. Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting here. It's just, there's definitely some influences, but it's also kind of confidently doing its own thing in a way I respect. It is very cool to see this game in motion. Alright. Oh, shit. Oh, I was going to check on the other employee. Oh. Let's pop back in. Here we are. Alright, employee details. Kiara Simmons, head of PR. Here we go. Okay, good. So, we've got an ID. So, here's the thing about fingerprints. It will often categorize them alphabetically in order to identify, okay, these prints are not like the others. So type C means these prints do not match up with those found at the crime scene. Alright, ambitious employee, too quiet, will not make progress without effort. So those details kind of clash. Has a strong work ethic and the desire to succeed, always conversing about sports. Okay, this is just some fun bit of randomization here. So it uses some random details to cobble up constructs of identities with the characters. Sometimes you run into situations like this. Found out a new thing about you now? Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I want to give that a try. It looks like really, really interesting from what you showed. Anyway, so Kiara Simmons, Simmons. We're gonna want to keep an eye on her. Do we have an address on her? We do not, but we should be able to look that up now that we know exactly who she is. And also, we have a name of someone else that she was warning him about, Violet Diaz. We'll want to keep an eye out for her. Low spoiler version, your time machine isn't the only one. Oh boy! So we're gonna have multiple people fighting through time. Awesome. Popped in at the wrong time because you need to use the bathroom real quick. That's alright, man. All is good. We're just investigating here. Parallel Worlds tree is also a teleporter maze. Oh man, this sounds trippy. Like, I got the impression that, you know, starts slow, kind of builds its way up to sort of a subtle weirdness at the edges, and then just full bore hits you with the madness once you get far enough in. And that's a tricky thing to pull off, because a lot of games that can end up being kind of silly and weird, but when it works, it fucking works, and there's nothing like it. Doesn't seem to be other time travelers yet. Hey, Kirby! Anyway. Simmons. Here we go. K. Simmons. Novak House. 402 Novak House. There it is. Alright, so she might be worth talking to. Alright, Novak House. Oh. Hey, here we go. Also very close to Town Hall. Again, sometimes the geographical size of the city kind of makes it relatively a little too simple to get around, but again, there's something I appreciate about the fact that you're working with just a condensed, informationally dense area that doesn't require a lot of tedious back and forth. Anyway, 402 Novak House. So that is... here we go. So we're doing the thing where ground floor is on the ground, obviously, and the first floor is the next floor up. Alright, 402. Novak House. Alright, let's see if she's home. Somebody's going to answer. Closing in on the end of the Mitsuko-Eriko route, so it's heating up. Nice. Or Mitsuki-Eriko route. Nice. Yeah, let me know how it goes. Oop, just took one, but I'll take another one. Thank you. Alright. Now it's a little hard to see, but that is our suspect. Well, not suspect, but person of interest, let's say. Hey, how's it going? Alright. So, the dialogue system in this game is pretty rudimentary. There's a set of questions you can ask just about anybody. What's their name? Because obviously you won't know that for a lot of cases. Sometimes you can ask a suspect if you can come in and look around, and if you get lucky, they will let you. If you ask if you've seen or heard anything unusual, if you know this person, they might ask for information. They might ask for a bribe about that. So we're not dealing with a lot of deep and complex dialogue trees. There's not a lot of bespoke or very tailored quest content here, but it is interesting and an example of the complexity with which you interact with other people and the way they interact in the world. So anyway, do you know this person? Oni Janssen. Now, it's a little interesting that we have Oni Janssen's face, but it's blocked out here. Anyway, I work with him. That's Oni Janssen. Alright, that confirms them. We work at Goldborn Technologies, so it's another way to get information. I saw them at Zhang Street on Monday at 11 p.m. Interesting. Okay. They were nearby Rosemary Suds. Headed east. So we're getting some very detailed information about where they last saw the victim. So now let's tell her about the killer. Oni is dead? That's funny. Something bad is going to happen. You have to help. Oni mentioned someone called Violet Diaz. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about her. I think Violet's a hired killer. I once saw them at that place, Jade King Lounge. You have to stop them before they come for me. Here's 200 crows that only left me. Crows is a slang term for money. Also, there's a sync disc in my mailbox from Oni. Take it. I don't want it. Nice! Alright. So, Jade King Lounge, Violet Diaz. So we have us as possible suspect. But possible does not mean proven. So, print and development email threads. Alright. So we'll end the conversation through the door, and let's be on our merry way. As you can see, our inventory is full, and that's going to complicate things. And I don't know how well this game tracks stuff you leave lying on the ground. So here's what we're going to do. Because one of the upgrades is an inventory upgrade, we are going to find a sync clinic first. There are a few of them around the city. You don't have to look too hard to find them. Jade King Lounge, that's convenient. Ah, there it is. So this is where we come to get upgrades and then to improve those upgrades. I'm going to set this code breaker down here. Maybe... Oh, here we go. Drop place. Here we go. Alright. Really pays to pay attention to where you're going and where stuff is. Alright, sync disk, physique. Increase maximum health by 20% or increase inventory capacity by 1. Fuck yes. Alright, use a bed or chamber to install or uninstall sync disks. Sadly, there's no chamber in here. There is a whole, like, Dead Space style armor closet that you walk into for upgrades, or you can just climb into bed like a boring person. Alright. So, Fortitude or Vitality, increase inventory capacity by 1. Are you sure you want to install? Yes! And then we can use that upgrade we picked up at Janssen's apartment to further increase our inventory capacity. Oh yeah, look at all that space! This is perfect! Because noir, Kirby. Now, of course, we're getting dinged for an item we dropped, but if we leave the business and just get far enough away, no harm, no foul. Alright, now we need to find Violet Diaz. Actually, we'll probably want to go back to Town Hall because there's something else we're going to want to get before we do there. Actually, hang on a second. Can I buy coffee? Gotta be right here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Newsstand. You know what? We might be able to make use of this. More on this in a second. Hang on a second. Here we go. Starch candy, donuts, yakisoba pan, cola, coffee. Fuck yeah! You know what? Oh, no. Here we go. Newspaper. I'll take that as well. This will have uses. So you can see here we can raise the newspaper, and that might be handy if we need to, say, hide our face for a while. More on that later. One thing we want to get here before we go chasing after a violent suspect: weapons. Now, as mentioned, there are no guns in this city, or at least none that you have access to. Criminals use them, the police use them, and there are gun turrets around. And we do have, you know, thrown explosives, obviously, but, you know, flash grenades, incapacitator grenades. But we're going to have to make do with melee weapons. And for that, we have us a truncheon we can buy. It's nice that City Hall lets you just buy these right out of a frickin' vending machine. Let's see, is there... Oh. There's got to be a way to holster things. Yeah. Now, oh right, I was going to look up the address. We need to find Violet Diaz. Alright, Diaz. Alright, she's at the Stubbs Deluxe building, 1202 Stubbs Deluxe. So we're going to want to add that. Now, 1202 Stubbs Deluxe, we'll attach that to Violet Diaz. And let's go see what we're up to. Now, if you want to do things besides investigate murders, there are job listings here. You can do other private detective stuff. So yeah, outsourced arrest division required by X1 Enforcer Division. Handcuffs required. Suspect may be armed and dangerous. Like, if you just want to go out and grab a bounty on someone, you can do that with this. And other jobs will be a little less, let's say, formal. Public humiliation, no questions asked, no questions answered. Fee, credits, 850. So, yeah. If you want to do things besides the case right in front of you, this is where you would go to do that. But it is just fascinating to explore this clockwork city and see all the various things that are on offer, things you can interact with, things you can do. Right, I was going to go to 1202 Stubbs, which I think actually wasn't too far away. Just finished my coffee. I'm like a real man, we're going to finish that thing in one chug. I'm not going to open the door just yet. I'll wait till the coffee's done. Yeah, there we go. Interestingly, when you finish it, the coffee itself is still an item in your inventory, and I think there's a way to recycle them. But we'll see if we can find a trash can or something. Nope. Or we can just throw it. Alright. So, 1202. All the way up on 412. So by now you're getting a sense of the kind of rhythm of play here. This feels like the kind of game best enjoyed in short bursts, like maybe a couple hours or two, or 3, or taking the edge off of something between bigger, more actiony or narrative-driven games. This game wants you to slow down, gather information, explore the city. It kind of wants you to learn the ways out of a building before you get into trouble. Anyway, so 1202 Stubbs Deluxe. Now, we don't know a lot about our target, it must be said. Let's see who's home. We could just bust in, but we know absolutely nothing about them. Let's see who answers the door. Yeah, this is the kind of world that authorizes lethal force for littering. Not that I know of. The police will beat you for a lot of things. Thankfully, they won't beat you for just throwing your cup of coffee on the ground. Although, I don't know. There might be that one asshole that tells you to pick up the can. Anyway, let's see who answers the door. How's it going? I don't know about you, but this guy doesn't look like a Violet to me. She, however, does. How's it going? Good to see you, citizen. What's your name? I'm not telling you. Uh-huh. Okay, what about your wife/girlfriend/roommate? Can we tell me about her? Do you know this person? None of your business. Not getting a lot of cooperation from this guy. How about, can I come in and take a look around? I don't let people off the street into my home. Damn. Okay, have you seen or heard anything unusual? Nothing. Yeah, this is getting nowhere. Alright. Right. Direct approach did not work. We'll have to come up with a slightly more innovative approach. Interesting side note, you'll note those two little status icons over here. So because I drank the coffee, I'm hydrated, so that does improve my health regeneration. And focus, this also improves my movement speed. So, heard it here straight from the source, coffee makes you a better detective. Anyway, we could just barge in there, beat the shit out of them, fingerprint them, and get information that way. But there are more sophisticated ways to get the information we need. Yeah, not letting people off the street into your home? How suspicious. I think I'll have to conduct a search, sir. Exactly, yeah. Like, in the context of the game, he's not all that unreasonable, not letting some rando off the street ask him questions and such. But we do know he's probably not Violet Diaz, so we need some information. Need to see if we can find more about her. And to do that, we are here back at City Hall. which is the only place in the city that has information on every character in the city. Because we don't know a lot about Violet. We don't know her, where she works. We don't know her associates. So we're going off all we have, which is a name. Now, we could just hack a terminal and get it that way, but this is a building full of cops, so we want to be careful. We want to look around for, let's say, targets of opportunity. So let's save. I know I just did that, but we'll do that again. The loading in this game is a little bit janky. I've had the game, unfortunately, crash several times trying to load. It does eventually work, but, you know, it's something you want to be kind of careful about. Now, we're not trespassing, thankfully. That, however, is trespassing. So, let's keep it low profile. Let's see if we can find some dingus who left their terminal unlocked. Beautiful, beautiful. I like that I was able to see the light there. Alright, can I... Yes, here we go. Alright. So, government database. Perfect. Alright. Diaz. Beautiful. Alright, print. Beautiful. We now have everything we need to know about Violet Diaz. That sure looks like the woman that was in that apartment. Type B. So here we go. We've got a possible match, actually a guaranteed match for our fingerprints, which is here. Yeah, it's confirmed now that the fingerprints we found at Oni Janssen's office were Violet, in Oni Janssen's apartment were Violet Diaz. So now we have a pretty good... We have some pretty good evidence that she's the killer, but we need a murder weapon. Oni Janssen was shot to death. So, Violet Diaz, date of birth, 7/5/1947, female, physicals, green eyes, height, 168. Stub Deluxe, job title, hired killer. Okay, well, I think we can safely rule out other possibilities here. I think that narrows down our suspects quite considerably. It's always nice when some government clerk has done most of your work for you. Alright, so we are reasonably sure that Diaz is the killer. Let's see whose computer we're on anyway. No harm in collecting information while we're here. I do like that, given the fact that we're looking at an alternate path of technology, that these are actually... It's not just that we're dealing with 1970s technology for computers. The computers themselves have taken kind of a different evolutionary path. And yes, actually you can. Like if we print, let's say we print out the flare quotes here. Shit. Ooh, that was close. Okay, stay hidden. I don't think anything actually did print out, however. Alright, might be a good idea to get out of here. But let's see, did that print anything? Didn't look like it. I think they... Oh, no, here we go. Yeah, that might be a good idea to leave. Wonderful dot matrix. Where the printer is. Yeah, we did print... We did get the, we did get the government database printout from the computer, and that's how we got information on Violet Diaz. So, computers will have printers on them. But yes, maybe the computer ran out of paper. I don't know if they simulate that. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. What's in here? Nice of someone to just leave some change in the machine. Holy smokes, cigars, matchbooks. Nice. I have to assume all these have fun little functions. Get some ideas for your own systems? Yeah, that would be interesting. But yeah, I love that that's a thing you can do in this game. Actually print out documents to read them. Notably, that was absent in Deus Ex. Like I mentioned, that's something that the Nameless mod added in. It was quite interesting. Occasionally you'd run across something like a document in the field that was not automatically added to your database but may still contain useful information. I appreciate games that encourage the player to kind of think outside the box. Anyway, I believe this was... Where's Stubbs Deluxe? So this complicates things, because it didn't mention anything about Diaz having a job, which means she might not leave the apartment except to, like, go for groceries or go out for, like, running errands or something. Maybe her roommate will go out. But either way, if we go in the apartment, odds are we'll have to confront one or the other. Unless we go in while they're sleeping. And it is 7:54. So we're actually getting close to morning. We're working some very odd hours for a detective. I mean, I suppose it's, you know, part of the course, really. All part of the job. Now, I believe people will get suspicious if they just see you sitting here. So what we can do is bust out the newspaper. Have a seat. And just chill. Alright. Okay, so we'll set the alarm. Alarm forward. A lot of offices start at 9 o'clock. We'll say we'll start at... Yeah, you know what? 9 o'clock. There we go. Alright, set alarm. Wait. Alright. Nobody's come out yet, so let's give it another hour. Nobody's come out. Interesting. We may have to get our hands dirty on this. So we can look under our doors, but you're not likely to see much. So I think we're just going to have to bust in there and see what we can get. Maybe whoever it was already went out for the day. We need to be ready for things to turn violent. Although it's possible that they work off hours. Place is dark. This is good. Alright. Now we don't want to make too much racket until we're sure nobody's here. Alright. Looks like this office is empty. That's good. What do we got here? That's a heat pack. Beta blockers, medications. There's actually a surprising amount of medications in this game. Praise Uncle, he will lead us to our Eden. Blood is sweet when it is shed with reason. That's a little bit dodgy. We may want to keep an eye on that. Okay. Oh, hey, what do we got here? Nothing. Interesting. Alright. There's a locked safe. You know what? While we're here, let's use one of these code breakers on it. We've got two. So these are fun. These actually brute force the code in real time. So you'll see it go through the sequence, and since they're all 4-digit combos, it's literally trying out 10,000 combinations until it gets to 1. Hey! An upgrade vial. Nice. Alright, what's this? Remember your passcode this time. 2903. Alright, we'll hang on to that. Yep, lucky kitties. They do have these. In fact, I wonder if we can take that. Unfortunately not. Maybe we can get one for our apartment? I hope so. Those are cute, though. Alright. Okay, we've got someone in here. Shit. Oh, shit. Okay. Alright. Suspect is down. Slow decline of health. This will disappear. Alright. Well, that ended poorly, but long as they're down, let's search them. There is an interior decor minigame. Window. Yeah, that would have been the smart play. Unfortunately, he was a bit too quick on the draw for that. Anyway, long as he's down, let's look around. He won't stay down, obviously. Alright. Overdue payment, notice to named individual, Violet Diaz, fine for misdemeanors, assault by pointing, trespassing, possession of a deadly weapon, disturbing the peace. If payment is not received in the next 3 days, will be subject to misdemeanor. Yeah. This is definitely a video game-ass flashlight. At the very least, however, I appreciate it does not appear to wear off. Or at the very least, I haven't seen it run out of battery power. So, you know, it's got that going for it. Anyway, as long as I'm beaten up. Here, have my trash. I'm going to patch myself up. I'm just going to eat this bandage. Booyah. Alright, business card. Shenren, supervisor. Okay, so Shenren, I think, is the guy I just beat up. He's possibly an accomplice. Or could just be someone that lives with her. What do we got here? Alright. Okay, Shenren. Looks like our man is on beta blockers and insulin. Great, we just beat up a diabetic. Fantastic. We're the hero. Alright, Violet Diaz. She is also a diabetic. Well, you know. It's important to keep active, even if that means murder. Violet Diaz. Okay, so they're legal co-residents. Shenren, birth certificate. And Violet Diaz, birth certificate. Okay, so Violet is unemployed. Except for murder. So let's look around and see if there's anything here. Remember, we're hoping we can find a murder weapon, or something that directly ties her to the crime. Hey! Oh, no, you don't. Shit! I swear this isn't what it looks like. I'm the hero. I'm trying to help. But we need to find something we can use to tie them to the crime. Now, you note here that even apartments have camera systems in them. So this is going very hard on the dystopia angle. Okay, everything appears to be calming down. Sort of. Damn it! Just occurred to me she might actually have the murder weapon on her. Oh, no, you don't. Ow! Run, run! Alright. I think we lost him. And the camera icon indicates they're still kind of an alert, but we're not being immediately pursued. That's good. Good news, we found out everything there is to know about Violet Diaz. Bad news, we don't know where she is. However, you notice we may have just stumbled upon this CCTV monitor. let's make the surveillance state work for us. Nothing. I saw nothing. You saw nothing. Just normal citizen behavior here. Carry on. Alright. Unfortunately, we are getting cold here, so we'll want to duck inside real quick. Actually, hang on a second. Can we get another cup of coffee? Yes, we can. Oh, yeah. Take that, cold. Y'all ain't shit. Alright, I believe there's a trash can around here somewhere. Eh, whatever. Close enough. Actually, wait. Booyah! There we go. Okay. Alright. Let's see if we can get the eyes of this city to locate Miss Diaz. Presumably she'll be home eventually, but I kind of want to see if this crazy plan can work. Today's Tuesday, alright. So, let's see. Damn, probably the wrong part of the city. Alright, no. Not a bad idea, but unfortunately, she did not pass by this way.
This building has entered a security protocol.
Okay.
Trenchcoat thanks you for your cooperation.
Let's go in here real quick and let's just wait this whole security alarm business out. I'll take that. We'll just chill until the heat dies down. What's on tap, my good man? Fuck yeah, let's get a burger. Oh yeah, I am energized as fuck after eating a burger. I am ready for some fucking crime fighting. There we go. Alright, let's let time pass. Why is it still resetting? What the hell? Okay, I think I need to be hidden. I think possibly me still being visible to people on the street is causing it to reset constantly. What in the world is happening? Why is it resetting? It is possible... I can't tell... This is a case where I can't tell if the game... If this is the system working as intended, or if the game is janking out some way. It is quite possibly one or the other. Let's try loading. I want to go back. We'll give that another try. Hopefully I didn't save over that. Because when I tried the tutorial previously, we did find the murder weapon in the apartment, but we searched pretty thoroughly and it wasn't there, which makes me think Violet might have it on her. Or she may have disposed of it, which is a possibility, I believe. This is something I worry about, is that loading doesn't always work. And I imagine it's just the clockwork nature of the game sometimes makes it difficult to... makes accurately loading with all the changed variables in it difficult. But yeah, I think we may have locked... Like, it's cycling through tutorial text, so the game itself hasn't crashed. We'll give it a minute. Okay, now we should be able to load again. I like that there was a separate loading bar for air ducts. That shows you the, again, the granularity at which this game is operating. Everything in this game has some kind of purpose, is meant to be there. Ah, fuck, it's after the security threat. Right, because I saved before busting this thing open. Damn it! Now it seems to be going down. Alright, let's find some place to hide out. Because it is getting cold. Let's just chill for a minute. I don't mean literally chill. You notice the screen is shaking. That's the fact that I'm cold there. You'll actually get that status debuff if you're crawling around in vents too much. Yeah, saving and loading are more complicated. Yeah, that figures. Alright. Security system has calmed down. Everybody is back to normal. And we can resume our investigation. Back to the Stubbs Deluxe building. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We will sit down. Set my watch. Let time pass. Just people watch, you know? Just creepily sit here. Definitely not, you know, definitely not someone that is casing everybody that walks in and out. So you're getting the sense that some systems are fully in place and work exactly as intended. Others are a little bit finicky and take time to fully realize. Or work under very specific conditions, but the wheels can kind of come off, push a little too far. There's definitely still some stuff to go before they can convincingly replicate the social behavior of people in the game. But in terms of generating blocks of information and you having to sort through that information before you can make an arrest, they absolutely have something fascinating on offer, and I really do like what they have so far. Okay, we're just about there. And it works to the degree that I wonder just how many things are simulated. Like, did the killer get rid of the murder weapon? Maybe there wasn't one generated at all, and the best you can do is get the information and evidence tying them to the murder. And it's hard to know if this is the game legitimately being that complex, or if I'm just missing something, or if something just did not generate. Anyway, we will save and try one more time to break in. Fortunately, this time we have the key to the place. Alright, lights are out. So things have calmed down. This is good. Fuck. Okay, he's there. I think he just turned the lights out. He might have gone to bed. Flashlight's a little bright in the center, and it's not quite wide enough for my liking. Like Ivory says, video game ass, video game flashlight. The saving grace, obviously, is that it is not limited by battery, thankfully. Okay, sponge, eraser, shopping list, hamburger, poutine, all the meat you can carry. Utility knife. Alright, there's a shotgun. Doesn't match up with the kind of weapon that was used at the crime scene, however. Okay, we already searched that. Oh, what do we have here? Lazarus 5. A Lazarus 5 semi-automatic pistol, produced in large numbers during the Mustard War. Uses low-caliber 8mm ammunition. Against their hated enemies, the Ketchup Empire, no doubt. Anyway, time to bust out my handy-dandy little fingerprint scanner. Fingerprint, Violet Diaz. Bingo! This is what we're looking at here. So, we got us a murder weapon, or at least a possible murder weapon, and her prints are on it. This is big. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, should probably, a little unclear if we should take this or not, but, whatever. Now I think we've officially got enough to bust her and hit pretty much all the optionals except the rester. Why don't you tell me how it is? Is someone else in there? I think Violet might be there. Maybe we can get that arrest after all. You know what? Let's try a distraction. You know what? Let's do it. Turntable lid. Yep. Here we go. Oh, shit. Ah! Why did I throw that thing? Oh, that's our suspect. Because I accidentally threw my nightstick, we are now in a fist fight with him. Got her. Alright. Well, that was unexpected. Can't argue it didn't get results, however. Alright. Violet Diaz, you are under arrest. Alright. Yeah, I'll bet. You'd better start spinning, as in coming up with a good story. Alright. Now, arrests in this game are a bit janky. What you do is you subdue a suspect, cuff them, and you basically have 2 hours to turn the quest in, which we can do right now. So, resolve. What is the full name of the killer? Actually, I think we can just select. Yeah, here we go. Violet Diaz. The killer has been arrested. Do we have evidence that places the killer at the crime scene? We do. Their fingerprints here. Where does the killer live? 1202 Stubbs Deluxe. We have located the murder weapon. Lazarus 5. Did I? Hey, damn it! Are you serious? I'm in the middle of an arrest here, buddy. Your girlfriend's in some serious trouble. As are you if you keep punching me. I know with some interest he doesn't try to grab a weapon. Alright, he's down. Alright. Oh, I think the arrest thing only ticks over as we turn in the case. So, plot route to hand in. So now I think we go to City Hall. And just leave the suspect and her boyfriend there. Give them plenty of time to recover, come up with an alibi, or just leave the city. Yeah, we won't always have a plethora of leads to follow. And often the challenge will be just... Here we go. Often the challenge will be just getting the information you need to solve the case with what little is available from the crime scene. Anyway. Case submitted. Case submitted for processing. Please wait for results. Here we go. Yes! Got it all. Arrest the killer. Solved. Fuck yeah! I'm the best at detectiving. Hey, Zrap, welcome to the channel. Yeah, really liking this. And hey, we got some social credit. So, yeah, the thing in this game is as you do these jobs, your social credit ranks up, which I don't know exactly what that does for you in the game. I think that gives you access to more stuff to buy, more equipment and such. It's this meter over... Oh, it's this meter over here. You can see we just went up to social credit level 3, but more importantly, we got a ton of cash on that. This is your primary means of progression in the game, and this is how you basically get further in, get more cases, get more access to more stuff. There appears to be more to this. There's actually a bit more plot once you get back to your apartment, but that'll be all we do. We actually just came in at the end, Zrap, but... Welcome to the chat, it's good to have you, and this is indeed the tutorial mission. I am definitely going to be playing more of this. I really like what it's doing. I'm really excited to see how how it goes from early access to a full release. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. It's doing something unique, and it's doing it at a scale I genuinely have not seen before, and I think that is absolutely worthy of looking into if you're hungry, if, like me, you're hungry for a detective game that actually simulates the nuts and bolts of detective work. But yeah, no one ever chooses a life like this, dedicated to hunting down the scum of the city, at least the ones that don't work for the company. You fall into it, like a bad habit, or a hammock after a long day. Granted, the last one's kinda nice, actually. Some iced tea, and maybe a book to curl up with, catch up on reading. But the point is, it's hard to get out once you're in. The only company is what you bring into it. You try your best, clean up the mess one crime at a time, and there'll always be one more out there, waiting for you. Well, maybe not you specifically, that'd be a little concerning, actually, but you know what I mean. Point is this. The world's a dark place, and we're all down a deep hole. All we can do is try to climb out, one long night at a time. Oh, God. Seriously, I need to quit smoking. It's not as cool as the advertisers made it out to be. Thanks for coming, everyone. I'll see you next time.